from
the
space.
BBC. So they don't come from space.
Well, the radio wave episodes do, apparently. They've been coming back. They've been bouncing back. If you read a couple months ago, BBC has been receiving broadcasts from radio waves that they projected years ago that are finally making their way back to Earth, and they just happen to be Doctor Who.
Really?
Yes.
I had not noticed that. I have to look that up then.
It was pretty interesting and hilarious at the same time because...
How does that happen, though?
I don't know. But you know what? It just sounds really cool that something as beloved as Doctor Who made it out into space, coming back, no shuttle included, no shuttle sent in the first place, all radio waves of the radio shows.
It's bouncing off of Darth Vader's bathroom mirror.
It is. It is.
All right, so our next topic, getting off of Doctor Who, but staying on BBC.
Well, if we can stay on Doctor Who for a moment. I find it interesting that they're also coming out with a lot of good Doctor Who games now.
Yes.
They're actually coming out with the first 2-player Doctor Who game for PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah.
I know they've had one for a DS because I almost picked it up for Kelly one day.
And they do have one for the Wii because I got that from my charming wife, again sitting across from me. But the 2-player game, it's the Doctor and River. You get to play, one person can either alternate between the 2 characters to complete the missions, or you can do a 2-player co-op and go through the game. And you know what? It's about time. Being that video games are so prominent these days, I would love to see other great characters like this finally get a chance to be digitized into good epicness in a cup.
That's pretty cool. Like I said, I haven't picked up the DS game. I keep meaning to. I'll do that at the Doctor Who store that's online. It's whona.com.
Another plug.
That's right. It's Who North America. That's pretty much it's the Doctor Who store I told you about that had the Wii controller.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's where I used to get a lot of my audio dramas that I gave you a copy of that one time.
Also goodness in a cup. Yeah. I highly recommend.
Tom Baker's actually coming back for a bunch of those. What they've been doing since like 98 or 99, Rick, is there's a company called Big Finish Productions, and they do full cast audio dramas starring the previous Doctors and the companions that worked with them. Because with the audio drama, with music, and with a full cast, you know, it sounds exactly like you're watching an episode of the show. Their voices haven't changed, you know, so you pretty much just picture it all in your head. And they started off for years with just Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy and Peter Davidson. And then they brought in, after like the first year or two, they brought in Paul McGann, who played the 8th Doctor in the Doctor Who movie that was in the mid-90s here in the U.S. But now they've gotten, last year or the year before, they got Tom Baker to come in and record a couple. And now he's back again with Louise Jameson as Leela. So, and they might even do one, I hear they're supposed to be doing one with him, Leela, and the guy, John Leeson, who plays the voice of K9.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's something I'll be looking out for.
Yeah. You can get them at the Big Finish site. I'll put a link on here. Every website we talk about, I throw a link on when we post the podcast. So that way they can just click on it and it takes them right to whatever site we're talking about. So there'll be a Big Finish one. There'll be a Who&A one. There'll be a In Stock Trades one. So, but getting back to what we were talking about as far as BBC, but off Doctor Who, tonight here in the U.S. is the season finale of Being Human. Now, I enjoy that show. I liked the concept. If you don't know the concept,
no, I have. I've seen both the BBC and I've also seen the American.
Yeah,
the Sci-Fi.
Yeah, this is me flinching at the Sci-Fi Channel one.
Yeah, it's different.
Well, for those of us who don't know, because one of us at this table does not have cable, and has to be very selective because of lack of intel on his BBC channeling experiences. Why don't you fill us in on Being Human and what that's about?
Basic premise: a ghost, a vampire, and a vampire, or a ghost, a vampire, and a werewolf live together.
Is this where they enter a bar and one of them is... Okay.
But it's literally the vampire and the werewolf, because in the whole continuity, vampires and werewolves are mortal enemies.
Right.
But you've got a vampire who's trying to stave off, or he's trying to stop drinking blood. And you got a werewolf who's basically just a werewolf reluctantly, and goes out into the woods every full moon and tries not to hurt anybody. And they work together at a hospital, and they decide, why not, because it's so expensive living by yourself in central London, let's share the cost on an apartment. And the apartment they find has a ghost in it.
It's mystical creatures on the wagon.
It's a great show. I love the show.
It sounds interesting. I'd check it out.
The original vampire and werewolf left the show this season. They weren't on it except for like the first couple episodes. So they've been a new vampire and a new werewolf and a new plot line, which I honestly have enjoyed watching. And it's only 6 episodes or 7 episodes this season, but they weren't sure at the beginning whether or not they were going to renew it. So what they did was they did it. They basically ordered like 6 or 7 episodes, and they were going to see what the ratings look like for the first couple episodes.
Right.
Ratings went through the roof. They've already renewed it for next season.
Nice.
So, but, my thinking about it is it's a great show. I'm worried that, it's not going to go out on a high note next season, because this should really be the season it should go out as. But, if they're going to do it, I'm going to watch it.
Okay. It works.
Even if it turns out to be crap, I'm still going to watch it. That being said, the Sci-Fi Channel version is crap, and I don't watch it. It stars Sam Witwer, the guy that did the body double for the Force video game.
Okay.
And he was on Smallville as Doomsday.
No comment.
and the guy who plays the werewolf is the kid from the Superman Returns movie who played Jimmy Olsen.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen one episode of it, and it was basically scene for scene the exact same as the original show.
Okay.
Except done poorly.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of sci-fi shows. I used to watch SG-1. They canceled SG-1. Used to watch Farscape. They canceled Farscape. I'm watching Eureka and Warehouse 13. Eureka is in its final season this year.
Don't you hate that?
And Warehouse 13 is probably going that way because they love to spend their money on these, gigantic, stupid, mega crocodile versus robot orangutan movies, and I get pissed off watching them.
Okay.
Careful now, you're taking money out of Roger's pocket.
Hey, I love Roger Corman. He's a great guy.
I do too.
Here's a perfect example. Sci-Fi Channel ordered, like 5 years ago, they bought the rights to a Marvel comic that came out in the 80s called Strike Force Morituri.
Okay.
Strike Force Morituri was basically, it was set in the future. The Earth is being invaded by aliens. Common military isn't working. Nothing's going right. Somebody develops a process by which you can receive random superpowers and be basically the honor guard that goes out and fights these aliens. The process works on maybe 1 out of 100 people. And the problem with it is you get your superpowers, but the superpowers are burning you alive inside. And the whole original concept in the comic was you had 1 year to live if you got the superpowers. So either way, you either die because you don't get the superpowers, or you get the superpowers and you either die in battle, or a year after you get them, you just blow up. Now, they bought the rights for it. They were working on a script, and they had even announced that they were going into production for a show called 1,000 Days. They basically were stretching it to, you get your superpowers for 1,000 days, and then you die. That way they didn't have to necessarily worry about cast changing every season. But, unfortunately, for some reason, it never went into production. And then all of a sudden, all the money is getting spent on, Debbie Gibson fighting, a vampire octopus or some stupid crap like that. So I have my problems with Sci-Fi Channel. I used to be Sci-Fi was like one of my favorites on my remote control. I don't even know what channel, since I've moved home from South Carolina, I don't even know what channel it's actually on anymore. Because I don't think I've watched it, because I'm not interested in ghosts. I'm not interested in ghost hunting. I'm not interested in, robot caterpillars. So, thank you. I'm on my merry way. When Eureka and Warehouse 13 come on, I DVR them automatically, and that's it. So.
Okay. Again, me not having cable, limited selection. But
well, that's why you mostly watch the cartoons, on DVD with your daughter and play your games.
And I have my Hulu, and I have my Netflix, and I have my internet resources, and hey, I'm still here. Hi, everybody.
Do you watch any shows at all? Do you have cable?
Yeah. Cable.
Do you watch sci-fi at all?
Yeah, I watch sci-fi once in a while. I don't watch a lot of TV like that. I also have Netflix and
Yeah, I just sent a Netflix
Hulu and
movie back
everything
today.
else. So I mean, for me, it's not so much a choice as it is the time. And you can
Agreed.
DVR, but I got news for you.
When do you have the time to watch
You
them?
can only DVR so much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much time to watch what you've recorded and so forth.
I think our DVR memory is like up to 40% right now.
Wow.
Because there's so many shows that like Kelly and I tape, but then we just, when are we going to watch them? Oh, we'll watch them. Oh, we can't watch them now because we're busy. But I just, I'm not a huge fan of the stuff Sci-Fi is putting. I mean, they're not even putting out the old classic shows like they used to in the daytime. Used to be, I mean, back when Sci-Fi first came out and in the 90s.
Yeah, they had a lot of good stuff. They had Quantum Leap and Star Trek and a bunch of other epic television shows.
They don't have those anymore.
Well, that stinks.
Now, getting onto that actually takes us right over to one of the other topics I wanted to talk about.
What, that stinks?
Yeah.
Oh.
But while we're on that subject, stay on that side of the table.
Okay.
Actually, I was at Walmart this week
Uh-oh.
and saw 2 new DVD sets out that I'm going to be picking up. One is Torchwood Miracle Day.
Okay.
So it's, and hopefully they'll do another season of Torchwood Miracle Day, knock on wood. If they don't, oh well. But the other one, they actually have the TV series Logan's Run.
Oh, wow.
The 13-episode series of that from the it'd have to be 76 or
Yeah,
something.
it goes back.
They have that out on DVD now.
Yeah.
I saw it up at Walmart here in town.
That'll almost finish your collection anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, I love the random 70s shows like that.
Yeah.
You see, I've got my $6 Million Man. I've got my Space 1999 sitting over there.
Can I interject with the whole $6 Million Man?
Yeah.
Jeff has the $6 Million Man box set. When you open the box set, it actually makes the bionic sound that he does, which is just absolutely phenomenal. I think it's the coolest idea to put in a box set ever. I mean, if I bought an X-Men box set and I heard Shink from Wolverine's Claws or something like that, I'd be, like, in heaven or something like that. So I think that they did an awesome job with that, and there's my selfless.
Well, plus
Yeah.
it has the lenticular cover on it, so that when you move the lid, it actually looks like he's running.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's also a Bionic Man comic book out now.
Yeah, I've seen it. I picked up the first issue of it. Kevin Smith's doing it, which is
Right.
why I won't pick it up until it comes out in trade paperback.
Right.
Because, it's Kevin Smith. I don't want to pick up an issue and then pick up another issue and then wait 17 years for the third issue to come out.
Wait. Are you trying to say that, not that I'm knocking you or anything, Kevin, are you trying to say that he is sometimes inconsistent with comic book story arcs?
It's not that he's inconsistent. It's that he doesn't give a shit.
Kevin,
It's I am going to do this super duper Daredevil Bullseye miniseries of 4 issues, and I've just finished the first issue. Oh, but wait, I've got to go write Jersey Girl now, so I've got to go direct that movie. Yeah, how'd that work for you, Kevin?
I like Kevin Smith, though. But I do have a problem with the fact that he takes forever to finish what you start.
It's people in the industry that treat it like it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Because they have other things they want to do, so they come in and they do an issue and then they take off and say, oh, well, I'll get around to that later. First I've got to go finish this film project. Why didn't you finish that film project in the first friggin' place?
It would make sense, Broham. And I say this to you, Kevin, because, hey, I love what you've done in the past. I will continue to read your work and watch your movies. But don't make me wait till I'm 60, bro. I'm 30 now. I want to finish what I start sometime within the next 30.
You guys watch the TV show that he's got on AMC?
I have.
I don't have cable.
I
didn't even know he had a TV show now.
Yeah, it's called Comic Book Man. It was on after Walking Dead.
Oh, nice.
And basically, it's a reality show like Pawn Stars, where people come into the store. I have this to sell, and then the people at the store basically screw them over on what it is, and then mock them mercilessly after they leave.
That would tick me off.
Yeah.
That would really tick me off.
Well, it goes to show that everything is negotiable.
Yeah.
So it depends upon your skills when you go into that situation as to whether or not, you take the first offer or you sit there and you dicker back and forth with them about what they're actually going to pay you.
Now, some of them, don't get me wrong, some of the stuff, they're actually, spot on about as far as pricing and,
Okay.
and stuff.
Well, that's good.
But, some of the stuff is just full on, I can't believe they're even saying that to somebody.
I would never, if I was doing that to somebody, I don't